What's going on, guys? Today we are talking all things ball carrier moves, from the basics to some more advanced things. We're going to cover it all in today's video, so whether you're a brand new player or a player that's been playing the game for maybe a couple years, you will definitely be able to learn a couple things from this video. Okay, so the first tip is definitely the most important, and that is not hitting turbo. At all costs, please do not hit turbo. Right here, right trigger, or what is it, R2 on PlayStation. Do not hit turbo until you have a hole you're able to explode through, or if you see green grass. Do not hit turbo. It is the worst thing you can do. What it does is it actually makes the defender AI shed much easier. So if you're getting tackled for a loss and your run game isn't working, which by the way, Madden 24 is going to be a very run heavy game, so you're going to want to be able to establish that run game. Do not hit the turbo until you see a hole you're able to explode through. Right now, I'm not even holding turbo, and Saquon Barkley's still moving pretty quickly. Obviously, when you hit turbo, you get a little bit more speed, but I'm telling you, do not hit that turbo button until you're in open space, until you make that first move, until you make that first cut. It's one of the biggest tips, and still, it's one of the hardest habits to break because you hit turbo because you want to go fast. When the ball's in your hands, is all you want to do. So yeah, don't hit turbo right away. It's one of the worst things you can do in Madden. Okay, so now let's get through our 4 ball carrier moves. Well, technically 5 ball carrier moves, but we have the spin move. Spin move is really easy. All you're going to want to do is hit B on Xbox, circle on PlayStation. So there you go. You're going to hit B. That's how you spin. That's a spin without holding turbo. There it is right there. And here's a spin with holding turbo. To me, I do all my ball carrier moves without holding turbo. To me, they're faster and they take up less energy. And energy is the name of the game when you're running the football, not only because you don't want to fumble on the next play, but also it allows you to finish plays and have more stamina during the play if you break that first tackle, which is obviously very important. So yeah, the spin, here it is one more time. You're able to direct it by angling that left stick. But I'm not even holding turbo right now. And like the spin move is not that good. It was good in Madden 22. It wasn't that good last year. It's not going to be good this year. It won't be as good this year. So don't expect to see too many spin moves, and I probably wouldn't use this move too often. And next up, we have my favorite ball carrier move, and that is the juke move. So here's the juke move while holding turbo. It's kind of slow. It looks weird. I don't know how to really describe it. That's the juke without holding turbo. Here's the juke with holding turbo. Keep in mind, Saquon Barkley does have juke box, so this might look a little bit different, but still, regardless, the skip juke, or yeah, just a normal skip juke without holding turbo is the best. You kind of get that best left and right movement. You're able to make users miss. You're able to make, AIs miss, all of the above. So I like the skip juke without holding turbo. And then there's another variation to this move. I call it the super skip juke, which I'll talk about later in the video. We're kind of going to combine a bunch of different things, but yeah, my favorite ball carrier move, it was my favorite last year. It's going to be my favorite this year as well, is just juking without holding turbo. And again, it goes back to the first point. You don't have to hold turbo. Turbo, you don't have to do it. There are many carries that don't even hit the turbo button. Okay, so now we have the power back ball carrier moves, the truck and the stiff arm. These are pretty good, obviously. The better weight, the better strength, the better, truck and stiff arm rating you have, the more effective these, ball carrier moves are going to be. These are not for everybody. And the same, I guess, goes for the juke and the spin. If you have an elusive back, they're going to be a lot better. But all you're going to want to do to truck is flick the stick forward. The heavier the back, actually, if he's over 245, you might get like a speed boost animation. Guys like Derrick Henry, guys like AJ Dillon are able to do this. So you flick the stick forward to truck, and if there's a guy in front of you, he will hopefully run them over. And then stiff arm, you're not going to see anything happen, but all you're going to want to do is hit A or X on PlayStation. So A on Xbox, X on PlayStation. Just hit A. There you go. Just like that. And nothing's happening. Nothing's happening at all when you hit it, when there's no defenders. When there's a defender, you will see them make a conscious effort to try to kind of get their hand in between them and the defender. But here in no defense practice mode, you're not seeing that hand even go up on Madden 24. And a quick tip I have for you guys is actually a habit that I formed last year, and that is literally just spamming the A button whenever a defender comes near you. That's what I've been doing. So if I'm not in a position where I can juke or spin or make a guy miss or even use my stick, making a guy miss, I'll just spam A because, last year they added the button mashing mechanic, which is only the A button. If you win the tackle battle by hitting the A button, you can break a tackle. Also, you can trigger a stiff arm animation by spamming the A button. So whenever a defender comes near me, I'm spamming A, and there's no risk here at all. It's not like you're going to fumble. It's not like you're losing energy or anything. I just spam the A button, and I might instantly win a tackle battle. I might get a stiff arm, or I might just get, just get tackled. What's the worst that's going to happen? So little tip for you guys is, whenever I'm about to get tackled, I'm spamming that A or X button, man. I'm spamming it. The next ball carrier move I'm actually excited for this year. I've been playing around in practice mode a little bit, and it looks like the JURDLE is back. So let's get started with the basics. So the basics is just going to be a hurdle. All you're going to want to do is run straight and hit Y if you want to jump over somebody. Maybe your opponent's cut sticking you a lot, and you want to just go over the top. You can hurdle just by hitting Y or triangle on PlayStation. The JURDLE, however, is when you angle the stick, I would say to like 10 o'clock or 3 o'clock, depending on the direction you want to go. See how I'm angling it like that, kind of keeping it forward but kind of off center. And that's where you're going to be able to jurdle. You angle it right and left, and look at how I can spam it this year. Last year, you weren't able to spam it like this. They kind of put like a cooldown in the game last year for Madden 23. This year, I mean, you can just spam the jurdle, man. So the jurdle might be back. I don't know what the fumble rate's going to be on the jurdle this year, but I'm just turning the stick and hitting that Y or triangle button and getting this super left and right animation. And yes, they're unlike the spamming A tip, there is a big risk here. If you get hit, you can fumble. So you want to be very careful with this. There are abilities to counter that, but yeah, you want to make there's a big risk here if you're jurdling. You know, if you're just jurdling, if you get hit in the air, I mean, there's a good chance that ball is coming out. So, you know, big risk, but also high reward. Okay, next up, we have another ball carrier mechanic that was added into Madden 23, and that is the hard cut mechanic. So all you're going to want to do is use this left back button, LT or L2, depending on your console. And you're just going to, it's kind of, I'm trying to play around with it. It's a little bit different this year, but you can kind of get that hard cut. Where it's going to be best is not only like in the secondary, if you're facing a guy who's user tackling, you can kind of make a miss. But I like it for like redirecting in holes. So say the one hole is filled, I like to be able to kind of cut it back through a hole. But you just kind of tap the button and change direction with the stick, and that's kind of how you're going to want to play with it. So that's the hard cut mechanic. It's a little bit wonky this year. I kind of got used to it. It's a little bit different than it was in 23, but that's the hard cut mechanic, and there's obviously more combos you can play off the hard cut mechanic. And that is the move that I used the most last year. I called it the super skip juke. I made its own dedicated video on it last year. It's a combination of a hard cut into a skip juke. So I'll show you what that's going to look like. What you're going to want to do is say you have a defender, like a safety, crashing down from the middle of the field. You want to set him up going left, hard, like while your head is faced left. You want to hard cut the way you want to juke. So you're going to hard cut, flick the stick like that, and then juke all at once. This is what it's going to look like. I'll show you real quick now. It looks like that. So you see how he turns his head? And what that does is the AI can't process this many inputs. So what happens is you actually just get right past the AI, because not only you hard cut and change direction, you are then skipping outside of his range. So it's a really nasty move. If you have any questions about it, it's really good. You hit that left trigger. You're not hitting turbo at all. I'm not even hitting turbo. It's a little bit of a timing aspect. You can go either way with it, obviously. You want to hard cut into that little skip juke that I showed you earlier in the video. So I'll explain. I'll do it one more time. It's left trigger. Say I want to go left. Say I want to go right here, just like that. See, I have that little hard cut there. If I was playing in a game, underneath the scoreboard, it would say user hard cut, and then it would have the juke right after. So yeah, a really effective move, and it's a little bit more advanced, but it is it's still pretty basic. There's some crazy jukes in this game, like the Reaper stick. Like there's some crazy stuff I'm not even gonna get into in this video. Okay, so next up we have a small one, and that is just celebrating. This is if you get behind the defense, make a guy miss, you're in the open field. All you're gonna want to do is hold both triggers, hold the stick forward to move, and then hit A. So this is what it's gonna look like. Oh, that's a new animation right there. But you want to hit that, and then if you want to stand still and celebrate, it's the same thing without holding the stick forward, and you're gonna get that nice standstill animation right there. So that's how you're gonna want to celebrate. And it's a good way to maybe force a rage quit or or just frustrate your opponent. And that's why I like to use it. And next up we have how to give yourself up. Say Saquon Barkley has low stamina, and you see a hard hitting safety like Derwin James coming downhill at you, or a guy like Jamal Adams, and you don't want to get hit by him. All you're gonna want to do is double hit X, and Saquon Barkley will just fall and will avoid the hit. I call it like kind of what Tyler Lockett made a living off of. Just kind of getting down and avoiding those hits. Just hit X, real simple, real easy. And if you want to actually gain yards and fall forward, if you hold X like this while holding turbo, you're gonna get this kind of jump forward animation. And also, I'll show you right now. If you're near the end zone, it might take me a second, but if you're near the end zone, you actually can get like a celebratory dive as well, which I will show you in this video. You hold the turbo, hit X, and you get a celebratory dive. So if you're not near the goal line, it's just gonna reach for yards. If you're near the goal line with no one around you, it's gonna give you that celebratory dive. If you want to just get down, all you want to do is double hit X while not holding turbo. Like, don't hold anything, just double hit X and he'll go ahead and get down. Okay, so the next tip is if you don't want to fumble. Some players just play on this mode regardless, and that is just putting your ball carrier into conservative. All you're gonna want to do is hit down on the right stick, or R3, head down to ball carrier and put it on conservative. Some people just play like this all the time. However, when this is on, you can't do any ball carrier moves. So keep that in mind. If you want to juke and make guys miss, you can't do any of that on conservative. Yeah, you're able to do that. I'm not going to even take a snap on conservative, but I do also want to show you, if you want to get conservative, mid-play, if you hit the right bumper or what is it, R1 on PlayStation, RB on Xbox. You see how he kind of covers up the ball? That's going to be you protecting the ball mid-play. Usually on conservative, it's already like that. But if you feel like you want to cover up and brace for a hit, I don't do this often, but you can hit that right bumper to have more ball security. And if you are curious what the other bumper does, the left bumper or L1, it does this. I'll try to show you right now. Let's try to get someone behind me. It's going to be a lateral. So if you want to clip somebody, make a play, control your friends, mess around, maybe it could be the smart football play. Who knows? Like Travis Kelce does sometimes. That left bumper is going to be your lateral. Those are some more fun ones. The celebrate and the lateral could lead to some nice clips. So yeah, that is going to do it for today's video. If you didn't make it to the end, I just want to show this real quick. We do have a Madden 24 giveaway going on right now. Links for all the social medias are down in the description. Follow those steps. We have 5 winners for a $25 gift card. But if you didn't make it to the end of the video, I appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It's going to be a great year of Madden 24. And man, look how good the run game is this year. The run game is going to be so good this year. So make sure you guys are definitely locking in right there. That was nasty. Okay, we're getting, oh my, Saquon's going crazy. That was me skip juking, the super skip juking the whole time, by the way. But yeah, as always, I will see you boys in the next one.